Shalom. I would like to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Giving double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, who teach this word in all honesty and sincerity. And salutations to you brothers in the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in great diligence and all sincerity as well. So I'm gonna get into a lesson on Jacob's trouble, because it's about the time that we're in, and it's speeding up, and this devil is ramping up his attacks, because he only have a short time. And Israel, the Israelites, man, it's time to wake up, man, and realize what's going on. All this stuff hasn't been happening to us for no reason. I'm gonna get right into it. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, and I'm gonna start at verse 7, and it reads, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck. I will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. But they shall serve the Lord, their God, or their power, and David, their king, whom I will raise up unto them." So the Lord, he's going to send a great destruction on this place. And Jacob, who is the forefather of the Latinos, the Native Americans, and the Negroes, and you Jakes in the West Indies, that's who is talking about, the seed of Jacob. And as you can see, yes, we have been going through hardships since we landed on the west side of the world, the western hemisphere of the world. And the Lord is he's gonna weed out the 2/3, and the elect is gonna be saved, and the 1/3. I'm gonna jump to verse 10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, said the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. So the Lord is going to gather us and put us back in our land, man. He going to save us from out of the land of our captivity, like he has in previous times, the Babylonian captivity. And one of my favorite books in the Apocrypha is the prayer of King Manasseh. He was king of Judah the time the Babylonians came and took us down into captivity. And the Lord gonna do the same as he did in Egypt. We are those people. It's no coincidence that we going through the same things that have happened in the past. We go off, the Lord put us in captivity, and he redeems us out. And it's going to be the same way, but this time not all of Israel is going to come out. Only the elect and the 1/3. It's no coincidence that our lives and what happens to the Israelites it coincides with these scriptures. What other people is there that their lives match these prophecies? I'm going to jump to Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Aren't we the people that's getting gunned down in the streets by our oppressors? The people who bought us in slavery and have been our slave masters and our captors. Don't they gun us down in the streets? Don't they get off? They don't hold themselves guilty. Hardly any cops do any time behind killing a Jake or an Israelite. They get off scot-free. And our shepherds, these pastors, they not in an uproar about that. They're not teaching the people the truth. They're not telling them that they're the people of this Bible. They're leading our people to the slaughter, and they getting rich behind it. You know? And our people struggling, but they go to church every Sunday to learn nothing and get their money away to learn nothing. Situations ain't changed and nothing. Getting back to Jacob's trouble, this was what the Lord told us to do. This is what he told his disciples to do. This is Luke 21, verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. And Jerusalem is a people before it was a place. So the people of the Israelites, that's Jerusalem. That's the city of Jerusalem, the people. Wherever they are, that's Jerusalem. You know. When it talks about us as a whole, it says Jerusalem. It's talking about the Israelites. Then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. That word desolation. In the Strong's Concordance, G1448. No. Yes, Salakia, bear with me. In the Strong's Concordance is G2050. Eremosis, and I think that's Greek. It means just destruction, basically. Verse 21. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. But these cities are going to be compassed with armies. Right now, they have concentration camps set up all out throughout the U.S. You know, they creating these false, Esau's creating these false flags, so they have a thing, they have a saying called order out of chaos, which in Greek is in Latin is ordo ap chaos. So they create a chaotic situation, like the Las Vegas shooting, all the way going back to Sandy Hooks, to the school shootings and all these disastrous killings, mass killings. Now they're saying that they're mad because their numbers are low. They're becoming they always been the minority of the world, but they want this country to be a majority Edomite, well, I should say white country, and they're mad because they're becoming a minority in this country. So you have Edomites taking it upon themselves, or they might be chipped or whatever already, and they're doing these acts so that the government can say, oh well, we need to lock the city down, we need to take away the guns, we need, they're trying to disarm you so they can come in and slaughter people with with not much resistance. And they're setting the stage for a massacre. They want to get rid of the Georgia Guidestones, have it listed that they want to get the population down to a controllable number. They want it to be under 500 million. So that that's what's to look forward to. Not time to be playing. Verse 22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, you mothers that's pregnant out here, and to them that give suck, women that are breastfeeding, you have young infants. In those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. Well, the point was in 23, but this is talking about another time, that in 70 AD, when the Romans came in and sacked Jerusalem, and our people fled into West Africa, dwelling amongst those Hamite nations that closely resemble us. They're not the same people as us. We have different customs and culture. Same just as when Moses was born and he was sent down the river to dwell amongst Egyptians, because they look the same. They're another Hamite nation. So it's all these things are written for us to take heed to and to remember, for our learning's sake. So this time was, and Luke was talking about 70 AD, but that same time is about to happen again. And, this is something that, people are going to have to do. You Israelites that's trying to be, trying to live by the law, statutes, and commandments. You're going to have to be ready to get up out of here. I'm going to jump to Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Isn't that what's going on right now in today's time? Ain't nations rising against nations? A lot of the nations that were once allies with America, they're making treaties with other nations to come against America. Everybody is tired of being oppressed by the petrodollar. um, the famines. You know, they're stopping food and supplies from coming to certain places, and it's gonna hit the U.S. too. Pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Pestilence like diseases. They steady creating new diseases and to wipe out people. I was just looking at a documentary on some disease. I forget the name of it, but a guy caught the disease or the virus, and 90 days later he was dead. And they went into his house to clean his house or whatever, and they had to rip floorboards up and rip the walls out and ceilings and basically gut his home to rid that virus. But from what it sounds like, it's an uncurable virus, and it spreads and it's contagious. So they are creating these diseases and viruses in labs. The CDC, the Center of Disease Control, they're controlling what diseases is coming out. They're making them. Down in Atlanta, you have something now called super gonorrhea. And that's where the Center of Disease Control is located, right? So they've been manufacturing these diseases and stuff. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And that's especially to the Akim that's pushing this truth, man. We gonna be hated for the Lord's sake, man. Especially of our own people, 2/3, man. They don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear anything that's not comfortable and smooth, man. You know, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Verse 11, and many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. It ain't no love out here, man. That word, they you know, the world thinks love is some type of mushy gushy feeling, or is you know, just letting people do whatever they want because, oh, I love you, or they love you. Or no, love is showing people the right way how to be. To love God is to obey his commandments. So the way you show love to another person is showing them his laws, statutes, and commandments, how to live right. That's what love is. It's an action verb. Verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. GMS, Great Millstone, is in just about all nations, man. All around the world. The truth has been set out, man. And there ain't gonna be no excuse. Oh, I didn't know and all that. You know, it's brothers in Holland, in China, in just about every state in the U.S. All around the world, and with the unicorn, the internet, you could receive the truth no matter where you at in the country, in the world. And then shall the end come. So all these things must come, must happen, because the Lord prophesied it to happen. The Lord spoke it. So it has to happen. And the job of apostles and prophets and watchmen is to warn the people before it happens. And that's what you see that's going out before your eyes today. You know, every time the Lord has brought a kingdom down, he sent his men out to prophesy the downfall of that kingdom. And it's no different from today. You have brothers in London, you know, in America, you know, the superpower the beast is being brought down, man. Spiritually, then physically. I'm gonna grab Ezekiel, and I'm ended with this scripture. Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 11. And it reads, "Wherefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh, surely because thou hast defiled my sanctuary with all thy detestable things, and with all thine abominations, therefore will I also diminish thee. Neither shall my eye spare, neither will I have any pity. A third part of thee shall die with the pestilence, and with famine shall they be consumed in the midst of thee. And the third part shall fall by the sword round about thee. And I will scatter a third part into all the winds, and I will draw out a sword after them." Verse 13, "Thus shall my anger be accomplished, and I will cause my fury to rest upon them. And I will be comforted, and they shall know that I, the Lord, have spoken it in my zeal, when I have accomplished my fury in them. Moreover, I will make thee waste and a reproach among the nations that are round about thee, in the sight of all that pass by." So the Lord gonna do all these things, man, and it's mainly for you Israelites, man. You 2/3 that scoff and just don't give a damn about what the Lord's saying, man. You're gonna have to be reborn into the kingdom through the elect men that are saved on this go round. I'm gonna grab this chapter. Ezekiel chapter 5. I'm gonna go down to verse 15. "So it shall be a reproach and a taunt, and instruction and an astonishment unto the nations that are round about thee, when I shall execute judgment in thee in anger, and in fury, and in furious rebukes. I, the Lord, have spoken it. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord, have spoken it." And yes, when all hell break loose, these zoo animals, these animals Esau then mixed in labs, and all, you know, even animals that the Lord got out here that have not been revealed yet, they gonna tear shit up, and it's gonna be an evil time, man. And evil just mean bad times, man. It's gonna be bad out here. So you Israelites need to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. And I know only the elect is gonna hear that and move to that. But with that, I would like to say Shalom and give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakakwadash, and Abba Ball.